Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is a request based video on attitude by Dear Knowledge. While I was making my video on attitude, I have found that attitude is quite a long topic to discuss. It is not as simple as you think it is, and it is not a simple term. It is a whole chapter. Attitude is a whole chapter because you will know what actually is attitude and how attitudes are formed and how you can change others' attitude. So while I was making this video, I decided to make this or upload this video in parts. So in this video, which will be basically part one of the whole chapter of attitude, don't worry, it's not going to be that much long. It's only going to be only 2 or 3 videos long. So in this video, we will discuss what actually is attitude, and in the end I'm going to share some psychological tricks and tips of how you can convince others and how you can change their attitude. So in this chapter we will only know what actually is attitude, and if I tell you or give you a brief summary of the whole chapter of attitude. Basically, in the chapter of attitude, we will explore the factors that shape the attitudes we hold, and we'll address the key question, like when do attitudes predict our behavior? And along the way, we'll consider whether all attitudes are equal or if some attitudes are more strongly linked to behavior than others. And lastly, we'll discuss the process of persuasion and how attitudes can be changed, including self-persuasion, how our behavior can lead us to change our own attitude. So if you want to learn how you can change others' attitude, and if you want to learn how you can convince others effectively, then you will have to watch this video and every video about attitude, which I will be uploading soon. And it's only going to be 2 or 3 videos long, not that much long. It's actually a whole chapter of attitude. So this chapter is very important. You will have to stay with me if you really want to learn, if you're really serious about learning what actually is attitude. So this is the best video for you. If I usually start my video, my lectures with a proper definition, because if you know the proper definition of that term, it will be easy for you to continue with the lecture. So the definition of attitude according to social psychology is that attitude is the evaluation of various aspects of the social world. It is basically evaluation of various aspects of the social world, and social psychologists use the term attitude to refer to people's evaluation of virtually any aspect of their social world. Now, let's come to the characteristics and nature of attitude, because in this video we're actually knowing what actually attitude is. Now, the characteristics or nature of attitude is that people can have favorable or unfavorable reactions to issues, ideas, objects, a specific behavior such as cheating on an exam, or entire social group. And some attitudes are quite stable and resistant to change, while others may be unstable and show considerable variability depending on the situation. Now, we may hold some attitudes with great certainty, while others' attitude may be relatively unclear or uncertain. Now, the study of attitude is central to the field of social psychology because they are capable of coloring virtually every aspect of our social experience. Now, attitude can influence our thoughts, even if they are not always reflected in our overt behavior, but it can influence our thought. Now, let's come to the factors of attitude. There are basically 3 most important factors on which your attitude is dependent in the formation of new attitude or when you change your attitude. So these are the factors on which the change of your attitude or formation of new attitude is dependent. First one is argument by social group. It can be like you are so much pressurized by a social group's argument that you are willing to change your attitude, or you may form a new attitude because of the strong arguments of a social group. Now, here I'm talking about a social group because people are more pressurized by social group. The second thing is diversity of attitude. You may form new attitude or you may change your attitude due to the diversity of attitudes. And the last one is social acceptability. You may form new attitude or you may change your attitude because you want to be accepted by the society. You want to be loved by others. You want to be liked by others. And that's why you change your attitude or you form an attitude just for social acceptability. Now, there are two conditions of attitudes. The first one is past experience and the second one is hope for future reward. Now, the past experience can be like if you have a positive experience in the past or you have negative experience in the past. Depending on your past experience, you will have attitude in the present. And the next condition is hope for future reward. It is kind of an operant conditional type of a term, which is hope for future reward, because you may form an attitude that may be positive or negative because you want to get the future reward. It can be social acceptability. Now, let's discuss the types of attitude. There are basically two types of attitude, the explicit attitude and the implicit attitude. So, as usual, I will start with a proper definition. Now, the explicit attitude is consciously accessible attitude that are controllable and easy to report, whereas the implicit attitude is the unconscious or unconsciously associations between objects and evaluative responses. Now, the difference between explicit attitude and implicit attitude is that many of our attitudes are explicit, which is conscious and reportable, while other attitudes may be implicit, which is uncontrollable and perhaps not consciously accessible to us. Now, while social psychologists can learn people's attitude about many objects from their conscious reports of the thoughts and feelings they have about them, another approach is required if you want to learn someone's implicit attitudes. Now, a method for assessing these is the implicit attitude test, which is the IAT. Now, the IAT or the implicit attitude test is based on the degree of readiness with which we may associate various social objects with positive or negative descriptive words. Now, when a person has a close association between social groups, say the black people, and some evaluative words such as polite, the person's reactions in identifying the connection is faster than if the social object was paired with a word that does not readily associate with the black people, perhaps rude. Now, quicker reactions to negative words such as lazy and some social groups would be taken as evidence of negative implicit attitudes towards the group. Now, there are some limitations and disadvantages of the IAT, but in brief, I would tell you that the disadvantage of IAT is that one might have ambiguity about himself or herself, because if you are ambiguous about yourself, you might fail the IAT. Now, the reason why people have ambiguity about their self is they may not know whether they like a particular thing or not. They may have taken it neutral, or they may be unaware of their own attitude. So that's the ambiguity. They might be ambiguous about their self. That is ambiguity. The second limitation or disadvantage of the IAT is fake responses. Now, IAT is susceptible to deliberate faking. The reason why people give fake response because they want to be socially acceptable. Because as we have discussed in the factors of attitude, social acceptability and arguments of social group and diversity of attitude, and these are the factors on which attitudes are dependent. Now, maybe you want to be socially acceptable and you want people do not hate you, so you give fake responses so you can be considered or you can be shown or proved as a nice person or a good person. So that's why people might not give accurate answers on the IAT, and these are the limitations and disadvantages of the IAT. Now let's talk about the application of IAT. Another reason that social psychologists view attitude as important is that they do often affect our behavior, and this is especially likely to be true when attitudes are strong and accessible. Now, both the attitudes influence behavior. Knowing something about them and can help us to predict people's overt actions in a wide range of contexts. Recent research found that advertisements resulting in formation of a positive attitude and including willingness to purchase a product had persuasive slogans that match participants' goal orientation. Now, knowing how a person generally approaches situations, whether in terms of the gain to be had or the possible losses to be prevented, can determine the most effective route to attitude change. So, these two terms are used. The first one is the prevention focused, and the second one is the promotion focused. Now, the prevention focus is basically when people are concerned about avoiding losses and focus on preventing negative events from occurring. For people whose goals are prevention focused, they are concerned about avoiding losses, and a persuasive message that focuses on safety is more effective. For example, if you have watched the video of or an advertisement of a toothpaste, they might show that if you don't buy their toothpaste, you may lose your tooth or you may get tooth decay. So these are the prevention focused slogans or advertisements. So if you are a prevention focused type of person, you will more likely listen to them and you will buy their toothpaste because you don't want to lose your tooth. And another slogan or a word that is used nowadays is stay home, stay safe, because if you stay home, you will stay safe from deadly diseases. Now, if you are a prevention focused type of person, you are more likely to either buy their products or listen to their advice. Now, the next word or term which is used is promotion focused. When people are concerned with promoting or gaining outcomes, when they focus on not missing an opportunity to benefit, is promotion focus. On the other hand, for people who are promotion focused, they are concerned with not missing an opportunity to benefit. And a persuasive message that focuses on comforts is more effective. For example, if you visit to a market and they say 50% off on any product or 30% off, or if they say buy one get one free, you will definitely gonna buy that if you are a promotion focused type of person, because you are more concerned about gaining the outcomes, you're more concerned about getting the benefits. So this is how advertisers or the business category convince you. Now, if you want to convince other people's attitude, you can use these two methods or techniques, or if I say you usually use these techniques but you're unaware of them. Now, this is the end of the video, but it doesn't mean this is the end of the lecture. We will upload the next video in which we'll discuss the theories of attitude and how attitudes are formed, and in the end you will learn how you can change others' attitude with using more techniques. So if you want to stay notified for the upcoming videos, you can subscribe to our channel, you can click on the bell icon to stay notified, to get notification whenever the video is uploaded, and you can share the video with your friends and family, because sharing is caring. And if you didn't get any point, you can ask us in the comment section. We'll be happy to help you out. Till then, Allah Hafiz.